CEO of Open the Books, John Hart. Where did our money go, sir?
Well, Carl, it didn't go anywhere productive, that's for sure. And just to put this in perspective, for the cost of the BEAD program, that $42 billion, the federal government could have given every rural household in America access to Starlink for a year. So we would have been better off just writing people a check or subsidizing their internet for a year. And you could even do it for a couple of years if you add up all the money that's been set aside for these rural broadband programs. And look, I'm a fan of rural broadband. We're doing this show because I live an hour outside of DC. I dug my own trench to direct my line to my office here. But I don't need a subsidy from the government to do that. And they've just completely lost the plot on this. And so what does broadband equity even mean? How does equity make it more broadbandy?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
It's more gooder. All right, so the kicker of all this program is that the whole thing was completely redundant from the start. The FCC already has a thing called Connect America Fund, which is supposed to be doing the exact same thing, and they suck at that too.
Right. Right, and that's par for the course for the federal government. Is, what we've seen over and over again is that the best way to make something expensive is for government to make it affordable. And they duplicate and they step on themselves and they get in their own way by adding these requirements and these climate change requirements, DEI requirements, and so on. And even in these examples when it's supposedly the money's actually gone out the door,
has this money gone out the door?
It's been like $18,000 in some places. So again, you'd be better off just writing people a check and letting them shop for their own broadband.
But so where's the money gone? Is it sitting there? Is it spent like the bridge in California to nowhere?
Yeah, well, thankfully, a lot of it hasn't really gone out the door. And so there's an opportunity for the Trump administration just to have a completely different paradigm shift and say, look, we want to see more people connected to the internet. We want to see economic growth. But the way to do that is to lower barriers to innovation. It's to have better energy projects in rural areas. It's to have a lower cost of living so people can afford to have a better connection. It's more competition. And so there's lots of ways to promote better connectivity. But the way the Biden administration has done it is exactly the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah, no, it just seems to me like our entire government is like the Department of Redundancy Department. John, always a pleasure. Hope we can find some of that money.
Thanks, Carl.
All right, thanks so much.